What's going on, champions? So today we're back again with another exciting video on the Wild Metaverse channel. Today we're talking about something that everyone is interested in. I mean, who doesn't really want to make money? Today we're talking about how to make money with the Metaverse. Hey, chatters. How can you line your pocket, get more money in your bank account with the Metaverse? So again, just to cut the chase, right? This is all about maximizing the opportunities that exist in the Metaverse from a financial standpoint. That's the reason why most of us have been tapping into this channel and trying to learn more about the Metaverse. So we're going to talk about it. But before we dive in, right, as usual, if this is your first time stopping by this channel and you have not yet subscribed, hit that subscribe button right now and welcome to the channel.
Hit it.
And for those of you who have been enjoying the show, watching the videos, interacting, messaging us, if you have not subscribed, you already know what to do. You already know what time it is. We're not going to tell you anything because you are an OG. So you got to do what you got to do. Take care of that business right now. And be sure to hit that thumb up button, hit the thumbs up button, like the video, and share the video with other people to help them get this information quicker. People really deserve to understand how to maximize the opportunity with the Metaverse and, you know, provide for their families. So what are how on a scale of 1 to 10, how excited are you about today's show?
Man, can I get a 12? Can I get a 12, man? We're talking about money, okay? We're talking about money, not the whole technical aspect. Man.
Exactly.
At the end of the day, you know, we're doing all this to get educated, but at the same time, if we don't make money out of it, we just wasted time, right?
That's right. Especially if we don't help you make money, you know, right. We can learn all of this stuff and make the money ourselves, but how about sharing the knowledge, the insights, and the tips that we can all win together? How about that?
That's right. I love it. It's a win-win, right? And I'm very excited for you to share this with us. You know, so for everyone here, please, you know, get your notebooks out, get everything out, because this is the most important one, right? Making some money. So Izu, tell me, man, what are your thoughts? I mean, you know, I've done some research. You've done some research.
Yep.
I mean, we've seen it all, right? But just walk us through what's on your list.
Yeah. So again, you know, I'm going to be sharing 10 actionable tips, examples. These are not fluff. These are not some, you know, random BS that anyone can just kind of watch and it goes over their head. I'm be sharing stuff that the, you know, average guy, the layman, someone who has not even had like, you know, 10,000 hours of experience with the Metaverse can just dive right into and, you know, start making money for themselves or create passive income, active income, side hustle, main hustle, whatever you want to call it. But just a quick disclaimer, right? This is not financial advice, guys. We're just giving you educational information. This is for educational purposes only and for entertainment. And again, whatever you want to do with it. But talk to your financial advisor and just understand that we're two engineers, two nerdy guys. I don't know about nerdy, but two normal dudes, right? Who just love to research this space and share useful information that you can put to work. So that's it, guys. Okay, so without just cutting through the chase, right? We're going to dive into the number one. Again, when we think about the Metaverse, most people think about the gaming world, right? We think about, you know, different games in the digital space. So right now, a lot of people are making a ton of money creating games in the Metaverse. So number one way to make money in the Metaverse right now, it's not the best way, it's not the only way, but that's number one on my list right now. It doesn't mean that it's the best way, but that's just the first one, is developing games for the Metaverse. So again, if you have some programming skills, if you're a programmer, if you're a developer, or you have ideas of games that you think will do well in the Metaverse, you can hire a team of developers and you can develop the game or you can program the game yourself. So a lot of gamers, you know, are really doing well in this space right now, game developers. So that's number one.
You know, that's interesting because I've seen, you know, in the stock market and everything, so many different, you know, companies and stuff like that, you know, that are claiming they're creating these interactive games and, you know, they're giving you free stuff in the games and things like that. I think it's genius, right? So even the existing companies, I think, are beginning to get into this space, right? Like EA Sports and all these different companies, they're dipping their toes. But for those game lovers, right? For those that have this imagination, which, by the way, I don't have. I have no imagination. So for me, this would not be something.
Man. Don't sell yourself short. Well, he's just selling himself short right now.
Hey, look, I'm humbled. I humble myself sometimes, man. You, but let me ask you this. Yeah. What type of expertise is needed, right? What's needed between expertise, money, level, difficult? How hard is this?
Sure, that's a great question. And I like that. You can ask the same thing for the rest of the ways to make money on the list. Okay. So again, when it comes from an expertise or level of difficulty standpoint, I would say this one is a little more advanced. So this is not just for the, for someone out there who has no money, because you're gonna need some money to actually, if you don't have the skill to build a team of developers to develop the game. And when it comes from an expertise standpoint, if you are already a coder, a programmer, it's easier for you. And if you don't have the programming skills, you just got to have the project management skills. You got to have the ability to put the right people, the right team together to work on these games and, create a project that people are going to love and enjoy. And people love the interactive games, the games that have the immersive experience, right? So again, if you do not have that programming skill, you got to have that ability to get the right team in the room or on the same boss to make this happen. And you're gonna need money if you don't have that the skill. And on the level of difficulty, money, right? Exactly, on the level of difficulty, how quick you can deploy this is probably, I'm probably gonna put this on a on a 9 out of 10.
Okay,
when it comes to making money with the metaverse.
So you need a team, you need money, you need imagination, dedication, passion, and an idea, right?
That's right.
You need a lot of things here.
The game
so
idea.
That's why it's a 9 out of 10. I agree with you 100%.
Yeah.
What's the next one?
Next up here is also similar to gaming, developing games. This has to do with designing and building structures in the metaverse. The last video, we talked about NFTs, the building blocks of the metaverse. So someone has to, in real life, design and build the houses we live in. Someone has to design the malls. Someone has to design the schools, the shopping centers, the cars, the hospitals, and whatnot, right? So when we talk about the digital world, a lot of people are gonna make a ton of money if they get into designing and building these digital assets. So again, this is a huge opportunity. Those who are in the engineering, architecture, construction space in real life, the drafters, the people with the CAD knowledge, the computer aided design. So if you are skilled in these areas, the 3D modeling, you could take your talents to the metaverse and cash out. And if you are not skilled in this area, you can go learn. There are courses on Udemy, Coursera, and all these, YouTube University, right? You could really go in and you could gain the skills necessary to create these models. So if you can design and build structures, avatars, 3D models in the metaverse, man, you're probably gonna be sitting right when it comes to your pocket in the metaverse.
Yes, man, that's a good one. That's a good one, because in there, like you said, if you put yourself in a desert, right? The first thing you need is infrastructure. You need to make it something. You need to make it a home. So I 100% agree. Now for this one, it feels like it's a little bit easier, like you said, than developing games. You don't need to have as much imagination. So for me, I might actually have a better chance to do this. I can maybe build a highway or a power grid or whatever it is, right? But do you think still there's some high skill set that would prevent a normal average person to just come in and say, hey, I'm going to make some money tomorrow?
Got it, yeah.
And also, how long would it take to actually make money from this?
Very, very, very good question. Good set of questions. Again, this is not a run-of-the-mill strategy to make money within the metaverse, right? You need a level of expertise, like I said. people who are going to win are those who know how to model in 3D. So if you are a designer, if you already know how to design in real life, this could be from an engineering standpoint, this could be architectural designs, basically anything that's in the real. And again, people who do the planning of the lands in the metaverse, people who do the designing of these lands and these environments in the metaverse, are people who are going to win with this strategy. So again, the level of skill set you need will go from intermediate to advanced. And that means, from how well you design stuff. But let's be real. In the real world right now, you've got different levels of designers and builders, right? Depending on the complexity of the project and what type of project, what the project really is and why you are building the project. You could really go in there and kill it. With something simple or something complex. You can design shoes, you can design landscaping. Yeah. Let's just use landscaping for instance. The same skill set you need to do landscaping in real life is not the same skill set you need to build a skyscraper, a high rise in real life, right? So the same thing applies in the metaverse. If you are a landscape designer in the metaverse, I believe most people can do that, right? But if you actually design power plants and you design power stations, space stations, and cars and whatnot, right? That needs a higher level of skill set from a design standpoint. So I hope that drives.
So I got a follow-up question then. So there's different sides to this, right? Because one side is you design all this, but if you don't have the team and the company to market it, to sell it,
we're gonna get to that. Hold up. We're gonna get to that. Hold up.
That's fair. Fair. Now let me ask you another question then. Okay. And maybe you're gonna get to this too. The people that do this, could they also just be working for a bigger company?
That's right.
Or contract themselves out. Say, hey, you know what? I don't have all this skill set, but maybe I want to design. I have a passion to design, but 100%. I don't want to do it the rest of it. I'm just gonna go and work for Meta 100%. Or work for another company. Okay.
100%. Again, we're talking about ways to make money. So you could think about it. This could be a passive thing for you. This could be your main hustle where you have to go out there and build your own agency. Or your own design firm to do this, or you could go affiliate yourself or work for companies that are already big in this space with a lot of funding. So it all depends on why you want to get into or how you want to play in the make money in the metaverse space. Active participation, passive and whatnot. But people can go work for agencies. Like you and I can set up an agency that just designs, structures and buildings in the metaverse, and we can hire freelance, outsource to people in different continents even to do the design, and we can all put the team together. So it all depends. And from a level of difficulty standpoint, this is not in my mind as difficult as the whole developing games. Like I said, you could a landscape designer is a lot from a skill set standpoint. He's still valuable, but not as much as the guy who's developing immersive and interactive games. So from a level of difficulty, I'm going to place this at an 8 out of 10, and this could go to a 9.5 out of 10 depending on the complexity of the design project.
Okay. Thank you. Yeah, thanks for sharing that. I'm very excited to hear the rest of them. Let's go.
So number three. Yeah. So number 3. Now it's getting a little bit more practical here, right? So number 3 is buying and renting or flipping land and parcels in the metaverse. So the pixels of space in Sandbox or the Central Land. So again,
I like that.
What you really need here actually is money. That's all you need, right? So you need money to buy this land.
That's right.
And it may not be really cheap for the average guy, right? You're gonna need a few $1,000s to get into the whole buying and flipping land. Or if you don't have the money to buy and flip land, you can rent. So you can rent the land just like you would rent an office space. And you could go out and you can sublease the land again. Or you can, you could basically arbitrage the land, right? So you could do a lot of things. They're just the same things you can do with land in real life are the same things, almost the same things you can do in the virtual world. So again, we all understand the whole buying, renting, flipping, how people make money. So that's a huge opportunity too. But like I say, you're gonna need a little bit of capital to do this one. So I place this at a 7 out of 10 when it comes to, just because of the capital involved, when it comes to how quick people can deploy and get going with the buying and flipping of land in the metaverse.
So you're telling me you can actually lease the land as well? I thought you could just buy and sell, but it sounds like eventually we can also lease. That's pretty interesting.
Yeah. It depends on what strategy. You can, like, let's say you are a buy and hold investor in real life. You can also take the same approach in the digital world, in the metaverse. You can go buy a parcel of land, a piece of land in the metaverse, and you could look for guys to rent out, like in real life. You could rent the land, and then you get paid rent. So you make rental income every month, or however your structure is. So yeah, you can do that in the metaverse. And if you don't want to rent it, if you don't want to buy and hold, you can buy it and you hold it. Like, let's say you buy a plot of land next to Snoop. You can hold that land and watch the value appreciate. And once it goes up, you can flip it for double the price, or for however 10x, depending on how the land values go up. So again, that's a good business. But again, that's what people do with art and stuff in the metaverse. So right now you could flip it. You could buy, flip.
Do you think one thing I know about the real world, for example, is you can buy land, right, that's pretty cheap in the middle of Arizona or New Mexico, and it doesn't really appreciate much. So that's one big thing on my mind, right? Is how do we manage that? I think we can talk to our users later, but what's your initial thought on that, right?
Yeah, I'm not gonna get into the mechanics of what happens with appreciation in real life, because I feel like the same principles guide the metaverse. You gotta be knowledgeable before you buy any piece of property in real life. You gotta study the area. You gotta understand what you're buying. So like I said, I'm not gonna delve into the mechanics of that. That's a whole different conversation on its own. But just understand that before you get into this stuff, you gotta make sure you've read up on what you are buying and what platform you are buying from and all that kind of stuff. So all that good stuff.
Great answer, Izu. Thank you for that, man. Thank you. What's next?
Cool.
What's next?
So next up here is something that everyone does in real life, right? So it's just pretty much simple. Buying stocks of metaverse focused companies. So you got to do your research and figure out what companies are the pioneers or the early movers or are more promising in this space. But you got to do your research, just like buying individual stocks of companies. It's almost like you're picking, I'm just going to throw one out there. You're buying Facebook stocks, or any company that's investing heavily in the metaverse. So that's pretty easy. And this one, on a scale of 1 to 10, I'm going to give this one a 3 out of 10 in terms of difficulty of getting in. All you got to do is just read up on a few articles and figure out who is doing what, why they are doing what the future potential is, and you can deploy your cash. And again, give it some time.
Do you think, I think I agree with you. It's 3 out of 10 from a standpoint of difficulty to get in, because all you do is just go in Robinhood or whatever platform and you just hit buy. It's very simple.
That's it.
But I think from an expertise perspective, don't you think it requires a little bit more expertise?
That's why I gave it. Yeah, I mean, that's why I gave it 3 out of 10, because all you got to do is, digest a few articles. Let's just be real. You just got to sit down and read.
I disagree.
You got to read.
I disagree with that. So I'll tell you what. I mean, it took me months and months to actually create my list of all the metaverse companies to invest in. And I have a list right now that we're going to share with our users another time, especially if they put some comments down there, because I put so much time into it. Right?
You guys want to get that? You heard that right now. If you want to get that list, guys,
I will share that list.
You got to subscribe too and give it a thumbs up. Yeah,
that's right. But you know what? I mean, it's one of those things where it's easy to pick one or two, but to really diversify and make sure you get all the angles, because remember, not everybody's gonna win. So
no. And really, the reason why I said from a difficulty standpoint, I feel like if you can read and you can invest a sweat equity to do the research, you're pretty much, it's pretty much easy from there, from that standpoint. So,
Truth.
but yeah, I mean, I definitely agree with you. You got to do your research. You got to pick the winners, and sometimes you never know what's in the bag, right?
Yeah, that's right. What's hiding behind there? Yep.
Yeah, but the point is, that's a way to make money with the metaverse.
Correct.
So again, next up here, number 5 is also similar to number 4. But this one is, this goes to your point, instead of you trying to pick the individual companies and doing the research. Number 5 is investing in Metaverse ETFs and index. So right now there's a Metaverse index. The Metaverse ETF, I believe, is META, Meta. That's the Metaverse ETF. So you can purchase this exchange traded funds, a whole bunch of, companies within this index or within the ETF. And there you go. Once you buy that, there's going to be winners, there's going to be losers, but you got to, that's a way to simplify the number 4 problem of picking individual companies. Okay. So that's number 5.
Okay. So from that one, what do you think about difficulty? For an expertise needed for that one.
that's a 2 out of 10. You just gotta just do a quick Google, read up on a few things again, and bang, take action.
That's right. That's a very good point. And would you think that you have as much opportunity to make money off Meta versus stock picking individual stocks? Right. That's a big question. That's a big. Yeah. I mean, I don't want you to answer that, by the way. But this is just for our listeners. It's just to think about. ETFs versus stocks, and compare the two and think through it.
Yeah. And I'm saying all of this from the standpoint that people really understand right now how, from a real life, without the metaverse, people who are already investing, people who already have investment knowledge, they understand what it means to purchase an individual stock versus buying mutual funds and ETFs and index funds and whatnot. So again, I'm just speaking from that standpoint. If you want to understand what the differences are, you got to do your own research. It's going to be another 2-hour conversation.
That's right.
But yeah, so next up here is number 6. And number 6, stay with us. I know we're getting close on time, but just hang on. This is very important. The next few are very important because anyone can hop in. So number 6 is trading Metaverse tokens. This is almost similar to the last 2 we've talked about, but we're talking about tokens, which are basically the cryptocurrency of these metaverses. So we talked about, in the last video, we talked about the Decentraland as one of the metaverses. We talked about Sandbox. So the cryptocurrency or the token that's used in the Decentraland is called Mana, M-A-N-A. And in the Sandbox, that's the sand. So again, just like trading Bitcoin, Ethereum, you can basically watch these metaverses, and you got to have a strong conviction here. This all goes back to doing your own research. And we're gonna be sharing tips and giving you insights and updates, maybe on a weekly basis, depending on how we feel. We're gonna be bringing you some insights as to which ones are the better performers on a weekly basis, maybe. But yeah, you can gain some insight and invest in those tokens. So you can trade the individual tokens. For instance, this is one that I've actually executed on. So I've purchased some of the Decentraland tokens, the Mana, and I've held it. I've made a little bit of money. I'm not gonna sit here and tell you to go do it.
Lunch was on you, man. Lunch is on you.
But hey, who knows? It could be up or at your own risk, right? You got to invest with money that you can afford to lose. That's what I got to put out there. But yeah, you can definitely trade these metaverse tokens. Some of them I've already mentioned, the top 2 that comes to mind. So any thoughts on that one?
No, I think this one, no arguments on this one. Yeah, straightforward. Yeah. And we'll combine the next 3, like you said, and give me a difficulty once you combine it.
Got you. So the next 3 are pretty much going to be in that order: more difficult, less difficult, and even lesser from a difficulty standpoint. And number 7 here is NFTs, right? You got to create NFTs. This one, create or invest in NFTs. This one is a little bit difficult for those who do not have the skill set or the know-how, or those who do not have the creative, juice flowing. But the reason why I put this as the easier one too is, instead of you creating one, you can purchase NFTs. You can invest in NFTs, and you can try to do the same thing with the land. You can flip them. You can hold them, you can rent them out, because NFTs are building blocks in the metaverse, and you could stake NFTs. You could stake them and gain and get interest off of them. So that's number 7. So number 8 is also, similar to number 1 and has to deal with NFTs. So there's this thing called the NFT play to earn game. This is absolutely easy. You are not creating anything. All you're doing is going on these metaverse platforms and playing games. All you need is your time, right? You just got to sit there like in real life. You play some of these games where you have the chance to win money. So you have this play to earn games. That's what it's called. You can look them up. There's a few of them out there. And you can just play these games all day and you can earn some money with the NFT play to earn games. So that's a quick way to start making money today in the metaverse.
If I could get paid just to play, man, I would play every game out there.
There you go. Hey, you could, but it's your time. You got to put in the time, right. Play to earn.
Is it worth your time? That's the question.
There you go. Just for the game heads, the game lovers, those who game all day. That's a good one for you guys. Okay. So last but not the least, remember when I said hold your thought on when you rent the land in the metaverse, what are you going to do with it, promoting and all that kind of stuff. So lastly, we're talking about becoming a metaverse event organizer, planner, or promoter. So you can create exclusive and engaging spaces for advertisers in the metaverse. So the key to number 10 is pretty much you making money through promotions and advertising in the metaverse. So imagine you owning land in the metaverse and you rent this space out to corporations or event planners, and they use your space, throw a party, and they pay you. And at the same time, you have corporations who are looking for exposure. They can hang banners and flyers in the metaverse. As people walk through your land, they see these digital banners. And basically, you are creating opportunities for corporations and businesses, small businesses, large businesses, to advertise and get themselves known. So someone can be sitting in the comfort of their home in Japan, tap in, and they can really advertise their business in Seattle. Or someone in Seattle can actually see a new product that's in Japan and purchase that product just off of the advertisement or the promotion that you had in your metaverse land. So again, this is multifaceted, right? You don't have to own the land to do this, right? You don't have to be the one renting the land, but you can be the event promoter, almost like a social media manager. Right? You can choose to be the manager from a promotional standpoint, or you can be an events planner. All you need, again, is your time and the marketing involved. So that's a way to market in this space. So this one can go into, there's so many tentacles to this very last one. You just choose where you want to operate.
I like that, and especially with COVID nowadays, they're saying that you're able to have weddings on Zoom. Right.
That's right.
So now you're expanding beyond Zoom. You're going into the metaverse, and maybe you can be a wedding planner that plans all of that in the metaverse.
Exactly.
Because as a normal Joe, I can't go in the metaverse and organize my wedding, right? I can't organize my birthday party.
Yep.
But
even if you could, sometimes you may just not have the time.
Correct.
Yeah.
There you go. You just gave us top 10. I think
10 ways.
I think you gave a lot of good material. I'm not gonna lie to you. This is material that takes months to actually gather, and you got it in less than 25 minutes.
That's what we do, bringing value to the folks who are tapped in, locked in, connected with us. So again, if you want to stay posted on these exclusive tips, these helpful insights that we're bringing to you guys on the Wild Wild Metaverse Show, you already know what to do, guys. You gotta hit that subscribe button. You gotta share this video so other people can enjoy this same content with you. So again, guys, it's been real. And thanks, Abder, for actually very great questions and bringing it down to the level where people can actually gain some better insights from a level of difficulty to what's easier to implement with or without money. So again, this was good. What's your parting words for the folks?
Yeah, I would say, I think again, you dropped some real dimes, some real knowledge on us, and I appreciate you for doing that, and on your time.
Absolutely.
And I would say from these top 10, I'd be very interested to see how they develop and, what me and you decide to get into. I know I have some favorites. I know you have some favorites,
That's
and,
right.
and we can share them over time and our experiences over time with the listeners here.
Absolutely. Hey guys, it's been real. And thank you guys for hanging out with us again. Stay winning. We'll see you in the next one.